Accucare Physical Therapy and Sports Medicine in Brick, New Jersey offers a state-of-the-art facility with all the best and current treatments. With athletic trainers, massage therapists, and doctors of physical therapy, Accucare has everything you need to stay healthy and perform at the highest level. Cupping, stretching, laser therapy, compression boots, and a full-body cryo chamber are just some of what you can expect at Accucare. Check out their website and social media links in my bio. No prescription is needed to see them. So call them today and start feeling and performing at your best. Again, thank you to Accucare for sponsoring the Shore Football Report. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Accucare High School Football Preview Show presented by the Shore Football Report. Today, we will talk Holmdel Hornets football with head football coach Jeff Rainess. Coach, thanks for coming on the show.
Thanks for having me, Coach.
Good. You look like you just went out jogging. You look great right now, man. Huh?
Well, nice day outside.
Awesome. Well, Coach, I want to talk about you in a second, but I want to brag about my team first. I got some pretty good additions to my program. I call it the Dream Team. Bigger news than LeBron James when he went to Miami. And let me talk about my people. Accucare is now our title sponsor. Pam Anthony is the founder and owner of Accucare Physical Therapy and Sports Medicine. Does a fantastic job. And Coach, I know it's important for you and those coaches out there to have your athletes healthy on the field, right?
Yes, sir.
She's awesome. I mean, we're us coaches, I can say we're not experts in this field of what they do, but they have this high-tech equipment. Coach, remember the day we would fall into these tubs of ice and the ice would flow, right? And we had they have these chambers that you only see their head, and then they open it up and they're frozen, their whole body. Just these new technology stuff out there. She's great at rehabilitating and preventing injuries, and then mentally she's there, motivating and keeping the kids focused because you need your mind and your body working together, right?
Yes, sir.
Awesome. So she is awesome with the Shore Football and the Shore Conference, of course, and the Shore Football Report. Good partnership. You'll be hearing a lot from us during the season. Great person. The other person was somebody came back. It was Scott Stump. The mystery hire is now back. And it's so funny because Scott. Scott's been a long time. We all know him, us coaches. The kids don't know him. So he goes to media day last week, calls me up. He goes, how people recognize me as the mystery hire? He goes, they don't even know I'm Scott Stump anymore. I said, that is great. So he's there introducing him. They go, are you the mystery hire? And the coach was laughing because we all know who Scott is. Scott's a great dude. He's so important to detail in everything he does, and he wants to do the best job. And I got him when he's excited, and he can't wait to be covering you guys. So you got a good one coming from our end with Scott Stump. Really pumped up.
Congratulations to you guys. I thought it was a great hire and great job on the sponsorship stuff.
Yeah.
And good to see it growing.
Coach, let's talk about you right now. Last year we talked about your process, how you became a head coach, and you were engraved in the community, and now you're a head coach now in the community. You got to be excited. You're living a dream. Greatest job in the world, being a high school football coach. Yep. And that shows that you are a big part of the community. People calling you up. But Coach, you were so.
That's actually my high school football coach calling me. Like when we talk about relationships, that's a relationship I still have to this day. So
Coach, yeah. Now, I mean, it was a dream, you said, Coach, getting that job, right? But after the honeymoon period, okay, you getting a job is great. Now keeping it for as long as you have and building the program that you have. And we were talking off the air. You have a culture of football that is hard to prepare for. I think so as a coach. What you do offensively and defensively, you're very sound with your 4-2-5. But offensively, you run that offense that is something unique, but it's catered around your talent. Is this where you saw your program in terms of being competitive in your tenure as a coach at this point?
That's a great question. I don't know that I don't know that I saw I don't know that I saw the consistency. So we were so focused at the beginning on just trying to fix the culture and creating just a tougher brand of football. That I wasn't sure that this is the way that it would go. To be honest, when I first took over the program, that's not the offense I thought I was going to be running,
Right.
and it's not quite what I thought it was going to look like. And then, you take a look around the room and you see what you have, and you say, what gives us the best chance? And what I've learned is that it does sometimes it is difficult to prepare for, and there's nobody else in the conference that's really doing what we're doing, so
No.
it's a pain in the butt. And I don't know that I necessarily want to completely get rid of that, right? So, we've been able to over the years kind of put the kids in the pieces, together, and do some good things. Um, but I don't know that I would say, 7 years ago I looked at it and say, hey, look, this is what I thought it would be. So, some of it is just trying to be smart about, how we look at the world. That's all.
Football is football, though. I mean, think about it. You're blocking, you're tackling, you're running, you're working hard, and that's what your kids are doing. Regardless, when the ball snaps, all right, you guys are playing hard nosed football. That's what I know. Competitive team. You're always a lot better than you always hear saying they're a lot better than you want them to be. You're a very good football team, coach. Watching you coach throughout the years, it hasn't changed. Your kids play hard for you, and they're very competitive, and you play tough competition too.
Yes, we did.
Yes, you do. Coach, you ready to talk Holmdel football? Because I am.
Yes, sir.
Let's do it. Coach, I'm going to whip that mask off. No more pod talk. COVID, let's not hear about it. Back to normal is the mindset of everybody in the shore the last couple months. It was a tough time for all of us, but right now, let's talk about the senior class who did not have a normal offseason workout for 2 years. The last time was their freshman season of football. They had a normal offseason, but since then, they couldn't see a progression of drills and just your routine that you built for your program had to be on a complete halt. Take us now and tell us, what does a normal offseason look like with you as the head coach at Holmdel?
So I mean, listen, for us, I don't think it's changed all that much. I think there's more normalcy to it, just because there's less interruptions,
Mhm.
right? There's less of these outside things that are kind of chipping away at you. But we get on the field pretty much as soon as school is done, maybe a week or two after. But for us, summer workouts are largely comprised of the weight room for the majority of the time. We'll get out on the field, we'll do a little bit, we'll condition the kids, and we'll send them home, and we'll do that 4 or 5 times a week, whatever the case might be. So for our guys, that's never really changed. The outside distractions and the interruptions is what is predominantly changed. And it's nice to see the eighth graders come in and say, hey, look, this is the way it's going to be for 4 years.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about the mix-ups and the this and the that. Lord willing, right?
Yeah, that's great, man. I mean, there's nothing better than, tapping the kid on the shoulder, let him know that I know you're there. You couldn't do that during the COVID period, but bonding, and that's where your personality, your team is made in your weight room anyway.
Yes, sir. Yeah. So I mean, that's it's nice to be back to a full weight room instead of having to do things, trying to lift socially distanced and all this other stuff, and having to do it in small groups. And that
Yeah,
part of it's good, because from a team atmosphere, the kids like to get after it. And then I hate the music that in there is still terrible.
it's
But
another
you know what?
segment.
But you know what? Whatever, man. Like those kids, they get after it. They do the best they can in there, and it's a good atmosphere, and it's good to have everybody back together.
I'm glad you said that about the music, because if you agreed to it, we would have another segment on crazy coaches that are adapting to to high school players' music, and I'm glad we don't have to do a segment on
Oh, I have Steve Antonucci to thank for that. We went to scrimmage those guys a couple of years ago, and we're warming up, and he's got like like the Eagles are playing, and it's
that. Oh,
ACDC.
really?
I was like, yes. Like, and I remember talking to him in pregame about it, and he was like, "No," he's like, "I got rid of that. I don't let those guys do anything. I took care." So my pregame music now is it's a lot more coaches style than it is kid style, and I think everybody in the stands appreciates that.
Good. I can't wait to go in your weight room and listen to your music because I can't stand the high school players right now, their music. It doesn't have words, it has meaning, and it usually is hurtful because it's hurting somebody's feelings with the words and violent. And I'm like, whoa. So, yeah, I'm old school. Good. Good to see you are too. Coach, let's hear about your coaching staff.
Great, great group of guys. We've
Yeah.
been very blessed here to have a great group of guys that have been together here for a number of years. So it was nice to have certainly the majority of them come back, and we're very proud of the staff that we've been able to put together. So to me, it all starts with John Principi. He's the defensive coordinator. He's assistant head coach, and he coaches the linebackers. And he's a terrific guy. A great guy to work with. He's super organized. He's great with the kids. He's great with skiing. The guy literally is the best. So he's been with me since day one, and I don't know what I would do without him. So on that side of the ball, Charlie Marsh came over. He coached at Mattawan for a long, long time. He played at Mattawan, coached at Mattawan for a long time. When we brought John Kay over, who's coaches on the offensive side of the ball with me, that was Mattawan's old head coach. He brought Marshy over with him. He's a great guy, very, very knowledgeable, has a great rapport with the kids, and does a great job. He coaches the D-backs. So on the defensive side of the ball, then Mike Dorsey is the other guy. He's the defensive line coach. He's been here for, I think it's 6 out of the 7 years. Played at Red Bank Catholic. He does a great job with our kids. I always say like he's one of the younger guys, but he's starting to get old now too. So and then so Coach K, he works with the quarterbacks and running backs with me, and then we have John Polifka is a guy that's stepping in as a wide receiver coach for us. John's new to the staff. He just took a job at Trinity as a teacher. He's a basketball coach over there too. He's a college football player. He's one of those things is kind of a career change, much like me.
Mm-hmm.
And for a long time, I've been saying to him, look, when you ever do it, we're going to get you and we're going to bring you over. Super analytical kind of guy. I think he worked at Morgan Stanley for a long time. And it's a good guy. So it's nice to add him to the staff. At the freshman level, we have Dave Sherman is our freshman, I guess, quote unquote head coach. That just means he has to deal with all the stuff that nobody else wants to deal with. We have Scott Cannon, who's been around our program forever, played here. His brothers played here the whole bit. So he's the other freshman coach right now. And then we have a couple of guys that kind of volunteer with us. So Steve Nelson is a guy that just got done playing college ball at Bethany College in Kansas. And he come back and he's helping me out with the O-line stuff. He's jumping in. He's a former Holmdel player. And Steve Leo, who's been a great tool for us. He's the kickers and punters. So he kicked for Delaware for a long time. And he does a great job. He has a great rapport with Connor Mendini. And he's been instrumental in how much, Connor's really been able to grow. So those are the guys. We got a new athletic director, Mike Casal. Seems like he's super pro football and seems very into it and seems very supportive. And we have a building principal that's a sports guy, Matt Kokoda. A lot of basketball guys will know that name. So I will say, like from an administration standpoint and a school standpoint, like it's a pretty good environment to work in right now. It seems like it's pro sports, and
yeah,
it's a good place to be right now.
I could add something to Mike Casal. I know him.
Okay.
Yeah, well, yeah, his father coached with me.
Okay, so I know his dad was an AD for a long time.
His father was a coach. He coached with me for 2 years. His father, Vinny Casal, coached me in high school. at Southern Regional. And when he was the head coach at Pinelands, my cousin was his offensive coordinator. So I've known the Casals and I known Mikey as he grown up, and tell him congratulations on his new job at Holmdel. And I've heard nothing but great things about him too. So you're in good hands with your administration there, and you got it going, coach. So it's exciting when you got everybody all on the same page.
Well, that was the idea from day one, was to get the AYF reconnected, with the high school program, and we did a lot of work in the off season. One of our players came up with an outreach program for the community. Andrew Piscatelli came up with a great program where all of the players go out and they clean up like all of the senior citizens. So we went to the Half Century Club and we came up with a schedule and we went out to, I don't know, whatever it was, 15, 20 houses or whatever it was, and helped them clean up all their yards.
Wow.
And we're trying to give back to the community and just tell them, like, look, on Friday nights, if you got nothing better to do, come out and support the Hornets.
Great story, Coach. Winning on and off the field at Holmdel. I like it. Coach, to the left is the Holmdel Hornets football schedule. To the right is the Independence Division, highly competitive football division that I want to throw a couple things at you in a second. So let's hear your take on your schedule.
I think it's a very, very competitive schedule. There's no holes in it. You have a lot of teams that we've played there before, a lot of familiarity. I think the one we haven't seen before is Point Borough. And they're sure going to be a handful to deal with. So there's just no breaks in the schedule. I think it's a fair schedule. Listen, it's like one of the great mysteries of life now is when this schedule comes out, how this all works. So you don't know what you're going to get. I think it's a fair schedule. I think it's competitive, and we're looking forward to it.
Pythagorean theorem's easier to figure out than figuring out divisions and how they do it. But enough about the math. Yeah, that's a good schedule, though. That's a very good schedule. Like you said, looking over to the division part on the right, you're playing some teams with some high expectations, like yourself. But you got Point Borough, who's the South Jersey Group 2 state champs. You have Manasquan, who was in the semifinals. You have Raritan, who was in the finals of their South Jersey Group 2. Monmouth comes over and with a division championship in their other division. And St. John Vianney has a bunch of athletes on their sidelines with a new head football coach. And yourself. That's a tough division and a tough one to pick, 1-6. Really is. What's your take on this division?
No, I think you hit the nail on the head. I think every one of those teams is a playoff / championship team. Every one of them. So I think that's what they're trying to do when they put together the schedules, is make it as highly competitive as they can. And I think they certainly did a good job in this division.
It is very probable that all 6 of you could make the playoffs. You could. You have all teams there that I see that can win any one of the games or lose any one of the games, which is a credit to both teams, to all the teams you're playing. But that is a good division. Looking forward to covering it. Coach, what can we expect? What schemes are you going to be running, offense, defensively? What kind of philosophy are you doing this year?
I think offensively, we are who we are. I think we're a triple option ball club. We run something called the split back veer that we've been doing since I got here. Defensively, we are multiple. That's what everybody says. That's the cop out. That's the easy way out. No, I think at our core, I think we're probably 4-2-5 if I had to pick.
Yeah, I have multiple personalities. I use that too. I get away with it because you can't yell at me. You're going to yell at the other person. But yeah, Coach, here's my question to you. You do run that split back veer. You run it really good. You really do. And I love the old school coaches going, I used to run the split back veer back in the day. Do you ever get some of those older coaches back in the day tell you how they ran it, the split back veer?
I occasionally ran into Derek. Is it Reichenbach?
Yeah, they ran it at Howell. with
Yeah, so I
Corey.
saw him at the 7-on-7 thing, and he was telling me about how they used to run it.
Yeah.
And you usually get it's more the like Chuck Donahue at Southern last year. We're down there for that game, and he was like, I remember playing against it and having to try and defend it, and it was nice to be away from it for a couple of years, and here you come with and so you get a lot of that. Where did most of the questions are where did you where did that come from? Where did you pick that up? So, I played in the system as a kid and in high school, and then I
Yeah.
coached with Marshmallows for a long time, and that's where it came from. And like I said earlier, I still talk to Coach a couple of times a week. So
Yeah, coach. I mean, if you really think about it, in the off season, we kind of, you'll say we want to schedule our scrimmages around this type of an offense because this is who we're going to see week 1, 2, week 3. Throw you into it. Not too many teams out there can mimic what you're doing to give them a look other than practicing during the week for it. So it's tough for the scout team too because you're asking them to do different things than a spread, a wing tee. I mean, you got
yeah,
them going. I mean, you're going fast, and they have to be disciplined on their reads. And it's a credit to you guys having your kids coming up the ranks, and now they know your philosophy. It's pretty neat seeing that, right? Like, oh, I want to play this position in this offense too, right?
listen, I think there's always a faction of people in town that listen. If we were five wide and spread all over the place and throwing the ball, you get guys in town that want to run the ball more. So it's like
Oh,
no matter
yeah.
what you do,
No.
no matter what you do, you're going to be wrong sometimes. But it is kind of cool to go down and see like the younger guys running some of the stuff, and we do kind of have most of the teams in town talking the same language that
Good.
we talk anyway, right? So
Yeah.
triple is triple, and ours looks maybe a little bit different than the flex bone variety, but we got the guys bought in. So from top to bottom, it's kind of bought in right now, and um, that was the idea when we took over.
The thing I like about you from an offensive perspective is you get them to second level. After that, it's on them. I mean, we could draw up all these schemes. Once they get over second level, like 8 yards, they take it to wherever they can. You get them to second level. In that offense, you get that ball to second level. So who cares how you're running it? Your philosophy works, and your kids are doing a great job getting more yards after second level. That's what I really liked about what you run. So I
Like,
respect that. Coach, love this part. I love to talk about position groups. I think it's important. And us coaches, we don't want just one star and nobody else around them. The more guys you have in your individual drills during your teaching period, the better your group is. I love when our position groups are strong, not just one player, because I think that the strength of everybody's team is everybody all in, not just one player. So I broke down Holmdel, and I'm ready to take a stab. Please don't look at me like I'm weird and all this, but I got your strengths of your OD and special teams. Are you ready to agree with me or tell me I'm wrong?
okay, I'll find it.
All right, offensively, your strength and your philosophy of what you're doing is definitely your strength is because it's your O line. I think your lineman Dietz, Brew, Buchanan, Buckman, Hammer, and Calcatara, Dante.
Cal, Calcutta.
That unit has to be your strength for what you're doing offensively, and they're good. It's not just because they're there, because they're good, they're strong, they're all in the weight room. Am I on top of this being the strength for your offense, your O line?
I believe it.
Good.
Given especially given what we do, that's a unit that needs to work very well together.
Yeah.
They're a tight group on it, off the field as well. That's a pretty good group. They're strong. They like to get after it. There's a couple more guys, vying for a couple other positions. I would throw our tight ends into that mix too, just because of who we are.
Mm-hmm.
Andrew Piscatelli is a tight end that's coming up that we feel like can be a pretty good one. But listen, for what we do and who we are, that always needs to be the most important group. And I think this group is coming together nicely.
The names that we just listed, though, you don't want to be soft on one side of the line of scrimmage, but stronger on the right side. You can go either way, left, right, with these kids, and you have a unit. I really believe it. Looking at those names and watching your videos of your off season of your players, I feel pretty comfortable with that O line, without a doubt. Defensively, your strength, I think your defensive backfield with all juniors, coach. You got, first of all, you're like safety you. You got three of them. You really do, coach, you really do. Braden Savage, um, Gary Collier, and who was that third one I got?
Gil Fillon.
Gil Fillon. Yep, Gil Fillon. I'm sorry, Will Gil Fillon. Three safeties that you could rotate at any time. And I know Braden's you're going to be playing a big role in your offense, but you have three of them, and then you have Matt um, Malik Tasker and Matt Tampone on the corners. You got some players right there as a unit. I think your DBs are your strength.
I agree with that statement. Every one of those guys got significant playing time last year. So we were obviously very young in the secondary
Yeah.
last year. Um, so they come back a year, bigger, faster, stronger, that whole bit.
Mm-hmm.
But also, a year of experience under their belt and playing together. So we are very hopeful that group is a strong suit for us.
Special team wise, I think you're a lucky dude. You have a kicker, Connor Medina, a punter and kicker that is returning and is I think is a standout kid in the area. Having him makes you a lot more comfortable with the special teams, right?
Sure does. So, again, it fits into who we are and kind of how we look at the world and how we look at the game. Having good special teams and being able to,
Mm-hmm.
um, you know, play from a field position
Oh yeah.
situation, improve our field position. We did not do a great job of that last year. So it's been a high point of focus for us in the off season. Um, so it's something, listen, Connor's a very good kicker. He's at all of these camps. He's doing very
Mm-hmm.
well. He's really is a potential weapon for us. And especially with the way that we kind of do
I'm
things.
going to change that. He is a weapon. He's a
Yeah.
weapon. He definitely is a weapon. His name's definitely out there. But he'll change field position real quick with his leg. Coach, let's hear some names. Returning starters or guys that are newcomers that you're excited about for this season.
Okay. So we'll start with the offensive side of the ball. Just that's what I do. So,
Mm-hmm.
um, with the backfield largely graduated. So we're gonna be green there. We're pretty confident with Braden Savage. He's had a
Mm-hmm.
very good off season. He's a terrific athlete. He understands what we're doing, so he's going to step in at quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
There's some good battles going on for who's going to play running back, but the part that we maybe feel the best about is the offensive line. So we got a bunch of returning kids. Dietz and Calcaterra and Brew and Hammer are all returning kids. So you throw a kid like Nick Bachman in there, or Jason Tiller is another kid that's going to compete for a spot.
Mm-hmm.
So that's been a good surprise in the off season, in the preseason here is the way that unit has kind of come together. So there's on the edge, we got Malik and Matt Tempone are coming back. They were two of the wideouts that played for us last year. So that those are guys who understand what we're doing. Um, and the jump right in. Brandon Rooney is a kid that's a third wideout that's coming in that's doing a nice job in the off season. So between the three of those guys and a couple other guys vying for a fourth spot there, we feel like we have a good experience coming back there too. Defensively, like we talked about in the last segment, I think that the secondary is it's five kids that are coming back. Not all of them started at every game last year, but every one of them had meaningful reps last year. The linebackers, we graduated Tommy Sardo, who's a really, really good player
Yeah.
for us. We have Connor Fields and Dylan Lagana coming in and stepping in at linebacker. Timmy Haggerty's in that group as well. He was very good. He was an all conference kid for us last year. And then up front, we return, Mark Dietz and Jack Podesta. We're pretty excited about John Steele as a kid that moved from the offensive side of the ball to the defensive side of the ball this year. Strong kid. He's done a nice job at DN / outside linebacker kind of kid. So we have some pieces coming back from last year, and then we have some kids that are just untested. They've all done a pretty good job in the weight room. They've all done a pretty good job in the summer, but you never know. You don't know until you step out there. So if we step out there against somebody else in a different colored jersey next Wednesday, and in many respects, like I won't know everything I need to know until then. So the competition part of it's been very good in the
Good.
summertime. But listen, we have got if like when guys say that returning starters, I don't even know what that number is, but we have a bunch of guys coming back that have meaningful reps, across the year last year.
Yeah.
So experience is something those guys, especially getting thrown into that schedule last year. We feel pretty good about some of those guys.
You lost two studs, Sardo and Gallo.
Yeah.
They were dudes. But you have a bunch of guys ready to step in, and with your position groups being strong in a lot of different positions, you're gonna recover maybe with multiple players contributing. But Sardo and Gallo were big losses. But I always say it's not who you don't have; it's who you have, and you've embraced it, and you spoke very excitedly about your players and your team throughout the off season, and that's why I couldn't wait to talk to you today.
Well, we're excited. Listen, man, our kids work hard.
Yeah.
I think kids across this conference, it's an extremely competitive football conference, and kids in this area you have to work hard if you want to have a chance. You have to. So, I think we held up our end of the bargain as far as that. Now we got to go out and play some ball.
The one thing I always respected about you is you would tell me exactly the way it was. You wouldn't overhype somebody. You wouldn't. And listening to you talk the other day was something that got me excited because I'm like, he's got something. I can't wait to have you on the show because you are excited about your team, and that's what you are.
Yeah,
Challenges.
It's a good group of kids. Like listen, every year we have good kids.
Yeah.
Holmdel's great for that, but I like coaching and I like being around guys that want to be together and like playing football. And this group is it's a very tight knit group,
Good.
on and off the field. So listen, that makes it a little bit more fun. Listen, we'll see how it goes, man. I don't know. A lot of unknowns this year, so.
That's what excites you, the unknown. No, nothing's promised, but you do know the effort will be out there, and if you win, you win. If we don't want to talk about the other thing, but it's football, and you got a good thing going. You run a great program, you really do, and I'm excited to watch you this year. Scotty Stump will be around your sidelines, I guarantee you, because looking at your schedule, you got some big games. Big games, and that's all you can ask for. Given equal opportunity, give it a chance, and who knows? But your schedule in the past has prepared you for this, what you're in right now, because you've always played some pretty good teams. So
for the last 4 or 5 years, it's just like that's fun. I just don't know how they do it. I don't know where it comes from, and I kind of gave up trying to figure it out. So
yeah.
Wherever they tell us to be, that's where we'll be.
Coach, thanks for coming on the show. I appreciate it. And wishing you the best and Holmdel Hornets the very best this season. You need anything, you know where we're at. The Shore Football Report, we'll be covering you. This will be out tomorrow.
Well, congratulations again on everything you're doing over there. It's great, and I look forward to it.
We will be undefeated this year. We will not lose. All right. Thank you, Coach. All right. Now we're going to talk to Holmdel's three outstanding football players, three senior outstanding football players, and more importantly, though, better players off the field. I think that's just as important, right? And that's coming from your head coach, Coach Rainess. Speaks the world to you guys with your character and all that. So I appreciate you coming on the show. I'm going to introduce you, and let's jump right into the 5 questions. Are you guys prepared? You nervous?
No, we're good.
Do you want me to give you a list of questions prior so you can study for it, John, and then come back and be good, or you want to be surprised with the questions? It doesn't matter. We're going to be surprised anyway. So let me introduce you guys, all right? To the left, Tim Haggerty, the senior running back, outside linebacker. Give a good wave, Tim. To the right, up top, we have John Steele, the outside linebacker, the senior. Johnny. And last but not least, on the bottom is the senior. Wait, are you a senior or junior?
I'm a junior this year.
I make a mistake once a year, and I just made one right here. Do you witnessed a mistake by the Shore Football Report, and it will not happen again until next year on August 20th of 2023. You witnessed the junior, outstanding junior quarterback safety, Braden Savage. I didn't get that wrong. You are an outstanding junior quarterback safety, right? Good. I had to patch it up a little bit, so I apologize. But guys, thanks for coming on the show. I did a study on every program. I only need 5 questions answered for you guys, and I know everything about Holmdel. Everything. You can't fool me. So our high school football coverage needs to know these 5 questions because when I cover you guys or Mr. Stump does, we have everything that we need to make sure that we can follow you guys to the best. You ready? You nervous? It's going to be tough. First question. Who's the funniest dude in the football program? Who's the funniest dude? This is the most important thing because I think I like to have fun. When I coach, you're allowed to have fun when you play football. Who's the funniest dude? We're going to start with the quarterback in your football program. Who is it?
I'm going to go with Coach Marsh. He's the defensive backs coach.
Oh, it's a coach now, huh?
Yeah, he's always telling jokes with us, but he's a outstanding coach. But he's a funny guy, definitely.
So the coaches are one. So it's not a player. Surprise, John. How about you? Give me another name. Is there a different one out there?
I want to go with Coach Dorsey. He's a D-line coach. he's always like makes jokes here and there.
Really? So it sounds like there's a lot of giggling going on in that coaching office, isn't there?
Yeah.
Really? I want to hear a player. There's got to be one player in that program that makes guys smile. Tim, who is it?
I'm split between Matt Timpone and Dylan Lagana.
You could co it if you want. You want 2 of them?
Yeah.
If they're funny, let it out. So those are the 2. So you got a bunch of comedians sideline on the coaches and some players. That's pretty cool. Get off the buses when you're playing a away game and everybody's giggling. It's the D-line coach and the DB coach making everybody laugh. I like it. There's nothing wrong with having fun, guys, to just kind of ease the tension a little bit in football. It really is. Great. Number 2, who's the leader of the team that sends out mass texts in a group chats? Or you do maybe Snapchat or Tickety Talk, whatever that's called. But how do you send messages out? When Coach Rainess has a something out there he wants to send to the team, who sends it out?
So we have a big group chat on Snapchat, and but we also have the team app where he can put direct messages straight out to all the players and coaching staff. But really, with the group chat, it's all of us, all the seniors. Everyone's we've been working really hard on taking the leadership. All 3 of us just working on it.
Good. So all 3 of you together do it? So when this video comes out tomorrow or Monday, you're going to spread it out to your whole team, right? The links?
Of course.
That's it. Teamwork. I like to hear that. Yep. Good. Number 3, back to normal. See this thing? I wear this mask for 2 years. I'm sick of it. Back to normal. And so are you guys. How great was it to be back to normal in the weight room in the off season, John, with your teammates?
It was really good because we were able to have like a good room with like a lot of energy and like a full team in there and just everyone just getting after it.
Good. Cranking it up. Braden, how good was it? You the quarterback. Please tell me that you were getting those linemen pumped like Bray and all those other guys when they're pumping the weight up. You're able to hug them and, punch them in the shoulder, let them know you're there. How great was it?
Yeah, of course. The energy in the weight room, especially with the new Iron House guys that we got in.
Yeah.
Everything's just been crazy. Everyone's hyping up. We're all gathering around when someone's maxing out. Congratulating them when they get it up. It's been really good to get back to normal, though.
Great. Tim?
Yeah, exactly what Braden said. We got during COVID, we had 16 kids per time slot in the weight room. Now we have everybody. It's just great. It really is.
As a coach, I couldn't stand memorizing everybody's temperatures. Can you imagine that? Here I am, a coach for all these years, and I'm doing like an average of temperature checks, I can tell you what the skill guy's average was, the lineman. Oh, just throw that crap out. All right, let's get back to normal, right? And start coaching football, playing football, and hugging people when you do something good. We had a you can't social distance and do football. You just can't. Can't. 4, I know what the expectations are in the coaching staff. I talked to them earlier. But I want to know what it is in the locker room when the door's shut, there's no coaches around, and you guys are all circling around, in the locker room talking. What is the expectations from within? Tell me what the players are thinking this year. Tim, start it off.
I mean, we just want to compete. We just want to get better every day. We want to have good practices, good lifts in the weight room,
Good.
just and compete with other teams.
Awesome, Braden.
Yeah, like what Tim just said, we're getting after it. We're coming together, really pushing each other to do better on the field and off the field.
Nice, John.
Yeah, exactly what the other two said. Just trying to get better every day. Just trying to get a little better every day.
Get better every day. I like that. And if you keep that approach, good things will happen on the scoreboard more than not. Last thing, I need to know that I know everything. And we're going to start with you, John. Tell me, why is it special to play at Holmdel under Coach Rainess?
Coach Rainess and the rest of the coaching staff, they're just really good coaching staff.
Right.
I really like them. The players, everyone, we all just come together as a unit. We all play together, and we all just want to get better. So it's just a good environment.
Right. Tim, tell me, why is it so special to play under your football coach, Coach Rainess?
He just emphasizes family, that we need to stick together. Everything, we always break it out to family. Just stick together. When we get knocked down, pick the other one up. We just got to keep pushing.
Right. Braden, end it right here. Tell me, why is it great to be playing football at Holmdel under Coach Rainess?
So you got the family, the brotherhood between all the players, but then you also got a whole entire town behind your back that he has helped bring up through the years he's been coaching here. And it's just it feels something special on Friday nights when you got the whole town there cheering you on under the lights.
I'll tell you something, and I'm going to add to it. You guys were great. You guys were great. I'm going to add to it why Coach Rainess, from the outside looking in, he's a man of small words. He doesn't say a lot of stuff and all that, but when he does, it's valued a lot. He does. And he'll tell me the truth about a player or about a situation. He will. He's been echoing so many great things about you guys this year. Makes me believe you got something special going on. And I love the fact that he's got something being built there. And I told him about tradition. Tradition never graduates. So yes, you got guys that graduated, but tradition still stays there. The torch is passed. Now it's your turn to do it. Do you understand that? Next man up. It's not who you look. It's not who you lost. It's who you have. That's how you got to look at things. So he's excited. I got good vibes from you guys before we went on and right here. And I know what's going on because I told you my family, my sister lives in your district, and she's a big Holmdel fan. Big home. You got to get me a sweatshirt, a Holmdel football sweatshirt. You got to give it to me. I got to wear it on my show. I'll come when I come down. When I come down to you guys, I better get a nice XL sweatshirt. Well, it might be 2XL. I've been eating a lot lately, but that's that. All right, guys. You need anything? I appreciate it. Make sure you follow us, the Shore Football Report. Every day we're going to have stuff going on for you guys. You guys just make sure you have fun and keep playing the greatest game out there. You hear me? All right, go home, Del. See you guys later.